over here, I would say so it's the random data generator. So you can go over here, you can create your data from over here. So I went ahead and created the data. So over here, need the staging table for country as well. So I'll just go ahead. You create a staging table for country code. As country, we can go ahead and use any source system. We don't really need a specific source system for that. So that's why I'm just having only only a single source for the country. And do you want me to go ahead and create the entire set of landing table and everything for country, or is it fine that I go ahead and load the data into the country and just load it? We'll be loading it from landing and staging and base object for party and address. So just let me know. Because there's just a lookup table. That's why I'm just asking.
I think we can create it. So.
Landing and all? Sure. So I'm just setting the country code into PK source as well. Okay. So we'll just go over here. As we do not have any ETLs to do our particular job, so we'll just go ahead and use the landing tables and directly import the data. We go ahead over here, import the data. Click stop. TXT, I have the delimiter is on. I have the header as well. Next, both the attributes. Country name is description. Code is country code. Next, much. Okay, I need the just give me a second. I think all these are having why they are having like that much of data. Country codes is having way too much. Why? Okay, so they are having multiple commas. Just check if anything else is there. I can do is refresh and there are countries. Put the data. There was multiple commas in certain number of country columns. That's why. That is imported. So we'll see. All these are over here, right? So for going ahead and updating the time, we can go ahead and update the time as well. Just let me just go ahead and connect this one as well. Or I can utilize, you can see that right now it's over there, it's empty, right? So we can, for that particular purpose, that we can have a date time. And go over here. So the system, it would be taking the last update data right now. So we have the data in the landing table, right? Right.
So how did you got that like now thing? Just with right click.
Just a bit right click, nothing else. I just added the function.
Oh, okay, okay. In the
These are all the
functions.
cleanse functions, right? The cleanse functions which we
Yeah.
created, and these are all the functions which are given by Informatica for us. And if you'll see over here for party, I have used the concatenate function. What I'm doing is I'm adding the registry ID as my first value. Second value is bar, and the third value is coming from system name. So it would, for the primary key, so it would be registry ID separator system name. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is how I have gone ahead and done that. So we'll go into the batch viewer. For landing table, we have loaded for country, right? So we'll go into the country staging table. Okay. So we'll go ahead and execute the batch. So you can see it's been done. So all the 248 records got inserted. There were 248 records, right? So if we'll go over here, there are 248 records in total, right? These are just the numbers. I didn't do anything. It's for, as I stated earlier, right, that the source row ID would be utilized for if there is would be any rejects which will be happening, right? So that is one way to do it. And then we'll go ahead and do the load part and execute. As it's the first time, we don't need any force update to be utilized. So you can see the stage was being completed within fraction of seconds, right? It got finished within 4 seconds. But our load job is taking a little bit more time. It took around 11 seconds to go ahead and insert. So all these are inserted, but all the others were 0, right? If we go over here and in the country, you'll see in cross reference, all the data is being inserted with the system name, last updated date, and everything. And there's the staging table ID. You can see right now this 31 and this 31 is exactly the same, right? So if there would be any changes in the row ID object, it would go ahead and change that. So original row ID object means, let's say there were two records which got merged together and the second record was merged into first one. So original row ID will for second, it will remain second, but for over here, it will be updated. So you can see all the records are there in base object as well. There won't be any record in VX, this, any of these table, but control table, ECTA table, nothing is there, right? Because there is no updates which are getting done. So control table only holds the updates for any record. So now when this is done, we'll go ahead and load the data for address and party. And we'll utilize our batch group to do that. Okay, we'll add the party load. So we can now add the stage tables for party as well. Then load for CRM, SAP, load for address CRM and SAP. First, we'll go ahead and do all these things. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the data. Where is my landing table? Over here. Import the data. Party. See all the data. I have added the address data also in this one, but I have separated them out, right? So I'll just go ahead and add only these attributes which are needed for us. I think I have the system name. So I'll just go ahead, remove all these columns. So only these columns will be shifted. Registry ID will go into registry ID, system name will go into system name. Now you can see that row ID is not coming up, right? So for that, I think we have to go ahead and add the data into source row ID because I forgot that part. So what I can do is these are 250. These would be 1,000 records which are there. Now I'll go ahead and import for SAP as well. The same exact thing is coming on. Next, registry ID would be going into registry ID, system name will go into system name. You can see first name, last name, gender, and status is going into correct places. We have added them, but the source row ID needs the data to be imported. So I can just go ahead and push the data. I don't have any idea. I will do is I'll just go ahead and use the replace function. I'm just going ahead and pushing up. I just remove all the dashes and just pushed out all the numeric formats over here. Okay, the same thing. So this one is done. Now we have to add the address. Import the data. We'll go ahead, import party ID. Country code will be going into country. Street will be going to address line 1. City to city. State to state. Do I have a state over here? No, I don't have a state. Address line 1. City and system name. So all that is added right now. So we'll just go ahead and add the key and the source row ID object both. Or the party ID is well. Okay. This is done. Okay, I had to add put from the table as well. AP open next. Still street at distress line system source system. So we updated all that, and we have to add the primary key as well. So primary key we can go ahead and add as party ID and source system, or we can go ahead and add party ID, city, and source system. Any of these three. Okay. Because right now in other in regular terms, what we can go ahead and always do is the primary key is always created with a address type. There is there might 90% chances in every model the address with the address there would be a type associated with that. It's a postal address or which kind of address, and with that the primary keys are being created. Just to use source system, and I'll just use city name. go ahead with regular. Wiki is also been updated. Okay. So address is loaded. Our party data is loaded. So right now you can see that in address we have no row ID objects which are being added up, right? So how this thing will look like? So we have the landing for both the data and for party and address both. So we'll just go over here. We'll say execute. So if we'll go over here, the stating executed failed. Okay, last update was last updated was an issue. Okay, add a function. Added the last update date. Right. Just go ahead and say so last update. So system. Here is there, over here is there, over here is also there. Perfect. The batch group. So right now you can see that in the batch group we had some failures, right? So in this one we'll see failures with the message. So all the records which will get rejected, we can go ahead and see how they were rejected. So this is what it will showcase us. And the same we can go ahead and see it over here. Staging tables are down. In the address or which one it got created. In address it was created. So we rejects, and so you can see all the data which came in. All the data for CRM which came in. Right. So over here we always go for error description, and this job row ID object, this is the source row ID which we had. Right. It will get updated according to the system. Okay. So over here, if we have to go ahead and check what is the data which will be going in, so we have to have a primary key, and that primary key we'll be seeing over here. If there would be any updates which will be going in. Yeah. Refresh. So you can see party data has been sent in, and this one is party for SAP, which was being sent in. How much got inserted? Okay. But where is the address table? Why it was restarted? The entire branch. Okay. Now it will be going in. You can see address and party all are completed with how many records got inserted and all. No action because the party data was exactly same. Missing lookup. What missing lookup we are having? We'll be having the party ID as missing lookup, as we have removed the dashes for the row ID objects, right? So how we can go ahead and update these things or check these things? Like all these things will be coming into picture whenever we'll be going ahead and doing. So all the records are rejected. You can go ahead and see over here as well, and in the reject table as well. Just go into the staging for address. Red comment, and we will just go ahead to the loop. All the records got rejected. We just went ahead and updated the correct parts, so we'll just directly load the data. Single look. Great. To be contract connected. CRM, it would be CRM. So whenever the ETL jobs are being added up, all these things you will not see initially because we'll be having in a proper way. Right now, I'm just adding it from Excel, so that's why I'm facing these many issues. Now why it was being rejected? Cannot find the lookup value for party ID. Why it is not able to find out? See what has gone into the party. Let's first check what we have set. Just staging. We have set for this. Cross-reference primary key source. Cross-reference. Okay, primary key source doesn't have replaced. Okay, my bad. I think country code is char 7, char 3. Oh, that is fine because that is also char 3. I think this should not give us any more issues now. I hope so. Still there are rejects. Why? Oh, great. I just messed it up. I have to go into the landing table now. Landing table is up. We have party ID over here, and okay, so I have to just do this. So we'll just go over here. So we have to go ahead and execute. Refresh. The data has been inserted. Now, two records rejected. Why? Cannot find the lookup value for the country column. X6. Okay. Even I don't have any idea about these ones, to be honest. Which country is that? So that's the lookup failure over there. And 196 records got inserted. Now our part where we were actually waiting for match and merge, we'll just go over here. We'll just apply the duplicate one and execute. Let's see how much data we face, which would be duplicate. So you can see over here the party table. We have around 29 something data. Let's see what happens with this. It will take some time. Yeah, so till this is actually going ahead and taking time. So these all issues which we just got, these are because we were trying to go ahead and create the data with manually basically. But if it would be an ETL job, then these things will not come into picture, because in the ETL, all these things will be going through multiple joins and multiple validations. So these data won't be certain number of issues which will be coming up. Even if we are having the files which will be, we will be loading it into the MDM, then also that particular part will be coming up via ETL only. ETL will be picking up the file. I'll give you this website name over here. Okay. The second